to lesson 16 of beginning fencing, and today we're going to talk about counterattacks and evasions, which are certain styles of counterattacks. So we went over counterattacks a little bit in our previous lesson on right-of-way, and so we're going to review that first, and then when you look on top hat, you'll see another couple of outside videos on counterattacking and evasions that you'll need to watch. So I'm here with Will, and Will is going to do an attack, and I'm going to do a counterattack. Will started first. I started second. We both hit each other, but he still gets the point because he started first. Same thing. Okay, that time I tried to go a lot faster. Not sure, maybe I hit him first. Even if I hit him first, I still started second. Still his point. So, what's the only way that I can make a counterattack work and get the point out of this? Okay. So miss it. Oh, Will missed me. I'm the only one that hit. What I did was the wrong thing. I got lucky. He totally missed me. Even if he hits me off target, then it still counts as his first action. Nobody would get a point. If he hits me on target, he'd get a point. Only way my counterattack works is if he totally misses me. And so, of course, the French and Italians, way back in the 1600s, came up with moves that are called evasions. And they're built to make the opponent miss you. First one we're going to look at is a French one, not used very much in foil except in maybe this particular instance. And it's called a rassemble. And it's spelled like reassemble in English, but it's French, so it's pronounced rassemble. I'll be the attacker. So there goes Will. And you can see, because he's so much taller than I am, he can pull his feet back and extend his arm, and I couldn't get to it because of the reach differential. This is used more in épée, and in épée it's really used as a move to protect your feet if I go for a foot shot. So if I go for a foot shot, you would jump up and reach out and hit me. You can use it in foil, but it's very rare. You need to have, extreme height advantage over your opponent. There would be no way I would try a rassemble against Will. It would just be suicidal. Second one we're going to go to the Italian moves, and this move is called an Impartation. I'll have you attack. Not really sure of my Italian, but I've been told that Impartation means quarter step. So all I am doing is, when Will does attack me, he's attacking for this part of my target. So I move that part of the target, extend my arm, and let him run into my sword. What I'm going to be doing here is just basically leaving this foot where it's at and moving this foot to the other side of my body. Boom. And let him run into it. So he missed, I hit. What I did was a little dangerous, a little wrong, but I'm the only one to hit. We haven't talked about strip rules yet because the way the class has been reorganized for coronavirus. But one thing you have to watch out for is that you don't step out as you do that. And we haven't talked about the penalties. You have to be careful not to go around too far. Because if I turn too far, I've exposed my back to my opponent, and I could be called for a penalty for doing that. How are your spinouts? Pretty good. Okay. There is sort of a inquartata on steroids called a spinout. So I'm going to attack Will, and he's going to spin out when I do this. You can see he did keep turning and everything. What he has to do is to make certain that he has hit me before completing those spins. And those spins are there just to make sure, just do a regular inquartata. Just to make sure this doesn't happen. Oh, look. I realized he was doing an inquartata, and I changed the angle of my sword, and I ended up hitting him. It was still my attack, still his counterattack, still my point. So some people will do that spin to make sure that I can't get to him if I realize what he's doing. The third one is called a passata sorta. Okay? So, I haven't done this in a while, so I will try. Will's going to attack me. Okay, that should get you straight up on the and I got down low. Because I'm shorter than he is, this is a move that works better for the short person. True passata soto is basically a backward lunge. So, he would be attacking me. I'm just going to lunge backward and drop down. And not as flexible as I used to be. Could be able to touch my left hand in the floor. It's the only move you're allowed to touch the floor and balance yourself. Some people, as a substitute for passata soto, just do this. And they just duck. Now, what you have to watch out for, you can't turn your head down because you're now blocking your target. Again, we'll talk about that when we get to penalties. You might be called for exposing your back or the back of your head, again, a penalty. But again, it's all based on he has to miss me. So if he's doing this move, and he sees me start to go down, and he can adjust his attack, counterattack, this point. So this is a move that it had better work, because otherwise, you're down there on the floor. Yeah, go ahead and miss the first one, but I'm going to miss you, and then just pop my back. Okay? Because he goes, I'm down. Yeah, and I'm sort of stuck there. He's got easy second shots. So, counterattacking with evasions is possible. You want to leave it as a surprise. If you do it too often, your opponents start looking for it. So it's a real surprise move, and it works best against an opponent who's attacking very hard and very fast. So that, oh, they're going, you're out of the way, and they've committed so much to that attack that they don't have time to change anything. Another thing you have to watch out for is the way that moves are called now. I'm just going to do an attack, and you just do a straight counter attack. Okay? If I make an attack, and I try to avoid his counter attack, that is now considered his attack. Because the act of me trying to avoid his blade means that the referee no longer considers that an out-and-out attack on my part. So again, I go like this, I try to avoid like that, the referee is going to say attack, counterattack, even if I started first. So when you make an attack, have the conviction of your attack, and don't try to avoid your opponent's blade while he's counterattacking, or she. And that's the end of this message.